It started with blurry pictures, old Snapchat memories, yellow filters, Justin Bieber's song, and videos even captioned 2026 is the new 2016. And at first, it looked like another internet trend, basically, just nostalgia, and just people laughing at old outfits and bad haircuts sometimes. But then it got actually way bigger. Millions of people started reposting 2016 memories, and celebrities actually joined in as well. Songs from the 2016 returned to playlists, and people began calling 2016 the last good year, and suddenly the internet became obsessed with a question: why does 2016 feel so different from 2026? And so before we start, don't forget you boys, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and let's go for this video. And so let's start first with why everyone misses 2016 in 2026. And that's where we start with the last light year. 2016 wasn't ancient history, literally it was just yesterday. But emotionally, it feels like another universe sometimes. Back then, Instagram feeds were chronological and TikTok did not even exist. AI generated content wasn't flooding the internet, and people posted blurry photos without overthinking them sometimes, There was room for that little bit of error. It was literally just the beginning of everything that we know today very well. And for many Gen Z users, 2016 was basically childhood, and your biggest problem might have been who you sat next to in class and what song was actually trending, or whether your parents would let you stay online actually longer. And the internet felt smaller, messier, and more human. And more importantly, it also felt less exhausting, because nowadays internet in a way feels exhausting sometimes. And that's why they always tell you, you gotta time yourself when you go into internet and all of that. You don't have to stay all day, because when you stay all day and hooked into internet 24/7, that's when you go cuckoo. And in some cases, you see some people actually going cuckoo from it, And so now we get to the internet before it all changed. The internet of 2016 works actually differently. Social media was still social. People used Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and even Vine, to communicate with friends. And it was absolutely insane, especially Vine. There were a lot of people that were doing some great stuff in less than 6 seconds. And it was not to just become a brand. They were actually influencers, influencing people and making people laugh at the end of the day. But not everyone felt pressure to act like one. Today, social media is basically just performance. Algorithms decide visibility, engagement determines relevance, and every post feels optimized for attention. And in 2016, you could literally just exist online. The sound of 2016, every era has a soundtrack, and 2016 sounded bright. Songs like Closer, One Dance, and Lush Life dominated playlists, and the music felt warm, carefree, and even emotional sometimes. And compare that to 2026, where music now moves through algorithms, TikTok determining what's going to be the next hit. For example, the whole Dave 4VD and all of that case that's going on right now. Hey, he started on TikTok and look at where he is now. The whole genres are actually fragmented. Songs are even shorter, and the trends disappear in the matter of a few days. Like literally in the matter of this year already. I don't know how many trends we already went through and talked about and all of that. Like literally, I gotta get down to brass tacks and see literally just how many trends, because they're probably in the thousands. Compared to 2016, where everyone knew the same songs, today two people can live in completely different online worlds, and that also applies even for YouTubers. There's sometimes some YouTubers that already have millions of followers and all of that, and sometimes I've never even heard of them. And that's the fact. We cannot all be hooked on the same stuff nowadays, and just like you guys are watching this video, just like other people are watching other videos and have other interests and all of that. And so why the Gen Z is actually been attached to 2016. Let's talk about this, because for older Gen Z, 2016 represents something deeper than trends. It represents the last years before adulthood arrived, before, pandemics, economic anxiety, climate fear, and non-stop political tension. Sometimes many people romanticize 2016 because they were still protected from complexity in a way, and not because the world was perfect, but because they were young enough to believe things might be okay. And nostalgia edits memory. You don't remember every bad day. You remember, summer evenings, music in the background, laughing with your friends, and blurry pictures that somehow felt real, basically. And the world got heavier then. The years after 2016 changed everything. The COVID pandemic permanently altered school, work, relationships, and even mental health. And then came the economic instability, AI disruption, political exhaustion sometimes, an endless digital overload. And for many people, life stopped feeling temporary and started feeling uncertain, and social media amplified everything. Every crisis became immediate, and every tragedy became content. Every opinion became a battle. Disaster became a routine, and that's why the phrase, 2026 is the new 2016, it's not actually about fashion. It's about emotional survival at the end of the day. And now let's talk about the return of the imperfection. One of the strangest parts of the trend is that people intentionally repost ugly pictures, blurry pictures, terrible lighting, awkward poses, and that matters because in 2026 the internet is hyper curated. AI edits faces, feeds are optimized, everything is polished and ready to go for you to just enjoy whenever you want. So reposting imperfect 2016 pictures become a kind of a rebellion at the end of the day, and a reminder of a time before every moment felt performative, and people miss when the internet felt accidental, And do people actually really want to go back in time now? But here's the more important part. 2016 was not a perfect year. It had political polarization, online toxicity, economic problems, and global tensions. The difference is people experienced it differently. Many of the people nostalgic for 2016 were children then, and they weren't carrying, adult responsibilities, financial stress, or even existential fear. So when people say 2016 was better, they often mean, I felt safer, I felt lighter, I felt more hopeful towards the future and all of that, And so the real meaning of this trend, the phrase 2026 is the new 2016, isn't really about returning to the past. It's about trying to actually recover joy, community, color, and emotional connection even. And people don't actually want old phones, slow internet, or terrible fashion. They just want less pressure, less exhaustion, and more meaning into what gets created online. And the nostalgia is really a response to a world that feels overstimulated and emotionally overwhelming. And maybe that's why the trend resonated so strongly, because deep down people aren't asking, can we relive 2016? No, they're asking, can life feel lighter again, please and thank you. And maybe 2016 wasn't special because the world was better. Maybe it felt special because people were more present, more connected, and less consumed by the systems around them. And maybe the point of nostalgia isn't to live in the past, and maybe it's to remember what mattered here and bring it forward, because the real challenge of 2026 isn't recreating 2016, it's creating a future that feels human again. And don't forget, you boy, if you like this kind of deep dive into this kind of topic, let me know down in the comments below. And also by helping me out, like this video, subscribe to the channel to see more deep dives just like this. And also let me know on, and what do you miss about 2016 yourself? Let me know down in the comments below. And on that note, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.